Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady and the principal owner of Everett Tax Solutions, where we help you win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the small business community. Okay, so right now, what is on everybody's mind, of course, are the stimulus payments. So the third round of the stimulus payments actually posted today. Okay, there today being March 17th of 2020. I'm sorry, 2021. We are not going backwards. Okay, so those have actually posted in bank accounts. There were some people that received them a few days ago, but there are also some people that still have not gotten them. Okay, as I got a letter from one of the banks this morning that do the refund advances, and also for people that have bank products, right, where you have your tax prep fees taken out of your refund amount. And they said that they have received a small number of economic impact payments through their systems, and those will be processed and sent to you. So if you don't have yours today, do not panic. Okay, if you use a bank product, then it may just still be in the process of getting to you. All right, so just know that that is happening. But otherwise, they're winding up in your bank account's direct deposit. Now, the phase out for this round of stimulus is a little bit shorter than in previous stimulus payments. Okay, so the range is a lot smaller. So for single, $75,000 to $80,000. For head of household, $112,500 to $120,000, and then for married filing joint, $150,000 to $160,000. Those upper limits are your phase out limits. Okay, those are less than what they were previously. But with this, the definition of a dependent changed as well. So that's a plus. Previously, in 1 and 2, your dependent was one that met the child tax credit. So that's under age 17. So anybody 17 and older that was a dependent for you for round 1 and 2, you did not receive any stimulus payment. But for round 3, that's a little different. So if you have, that college student that is a dependent, that, maybe an elderly parent or something like that, you are eligible to receive stimulus payments for those dependents. Okay. But again, it's all income dependent as well. Now, who is ineligible? Who is not receiving stimulus payments? Non-resident aliens, taxpayers who are dependents of another, or an estate or trust. Now, let's talk about this. Who is a dependent and who is not? Because one of the things people are trying to do is say, okay, well, this kid is, college age student is claiming themselves. Just because they are over the age of 18 does not necessarily mean that they qualify to claim themselves, as versus being claimed as a dependent. So there is still some confusion about claiming individuals in order to maximize the stimulus payments. Now, this payment is still going to be based on your 2019 return if your 2020 tax return has not been filed. So they're using 2019. There are a lot of 2020 tax returns that have not been filed because people knew this was coming and they wanted to wait and see what was happening. Okay. So then when your 2020 is filed, when your 2020 tax return is filed, if you are due an additional payment, then you're going to get that. Okay. There'll be different dates that they'll be issuing those. I forgot what those were. Now, if you don't get the this round 3 by December 31st, 2021, it will be reconciled on your 2021 tax return, much like this year, right? So if people didn't get round 1 and 2, then you got the credit on your 2020 tax return. Now, this advance is, so this is an advance on your 2021 tax credit, just like with rounds 1 and 2 were advances on 2020. Now, this advance is also not subject to offset. So it's not subject to, back child support, student loan debt, tax debts, levies, collections, it's not subject to those offsets. So the payments are coming, and they are, they're on their way. And so just know that if you don't get what you're due now when you file your taxes, whether it's your 2020 or your 2021, they're going to make the difference. And just like with the previous ones, if you get more than what you were actually entitled to, there is no paying that back. Okay, with this stimulus. So, some of this, some people were strategic and holding off on filing their 2020 taxes. Some people were delayed. You guys, there are still people who are sending out tax forms that should have been received, February sometime. Okay. So everything is a little bit delayed. And now I want to end this with what you need to expect as a taxpayer. Okay. Tax preparation is taking longer. Why? Because there's all these tax credits floating around for different reasons. And so it's taking us longer to go back and make sure that you get all that you qualify for. I know Congress it has passed this bill and all of that, but the implementation takes longer. Software companies still have to catch up. And even with this unemployment, for instance, where the federal has said, hey, we're not going to tax the first $10,200, not all states are conforming. So you have to wait for states to make up their minds with what they're going to do. They're either going to conform or they're not. There are already some states that don't tax unemployment. There are some states that do. So the states still have to catch up as well. So this is why I'm saying that you need to just really pump your brakes and give your tax professionals time to go through all of this stuff. Because the flip side of that is that then you have to go through and amend taxes. And that's just not cute, because then that's going to be additional time and also additional money you're going to have to pay for your tax professional to go back and amend the previous taxes. So this is why I'm saying pump your brakes. All right. Give your tax professionals time to do their jobs so that we can do it well, because we're taxed out. We're taxed too, right? Taxed out. Funny. But, tax professionals are still experiencing life. We're still experiencing loss. We're still experiencing COVID, just like everyone else. But we're still showing up for our clients, and our clients are coming at us because they're angry, they're in a rush, and we are it, because you can't call the IRS and yell at them. You can't call Congress and yell at them. So you want to call and yell at us. And it's just not productive. Your tax professional is not going to be able to just randomly jump on the phone with you just because you feel like you need to talk right now. Because that is just not that kind of party this year. One of the things that we tried to do was to warn taxpayers early that 2020 tax filing was going to be special. And it has been just that. There are more changes that are happening for 2021 that we still got to learn that too. So just know that your tax professional is working very hard for you and to make sure that you get everything that you are entitled to. It's just a lot, and we have to go back and learn exactly what the rules are. And so when the software does it, we have to know if the software is wrong. And if we don't know, if we're just depending on software, then you, the client, are going to be the one who has to suffer that cost. So give your tax pro some grace, okay? Give them a little bit of room to breathe in order to make sure that you get all that you're entitled to get, because there is a lot of strategy that can go into preparing your tax returns that is going to maximize your result, whether it's maximizing a refund or reducing a tax liability. But it takes time and it takes effort. So your tax prep fees may actually be higher this year. Okay, but what you're going to pay in additional tax prep fees is going to pale in comparison to what you're saving on your taxes. Okay. So I want to put that out in the streets, and so you know kind of what to expect and what's going on in behind the scenes in the tax pro world, because nobody really talks about that, how all of these changes impact the execution of tax preparation, of client interaction and all of that. And of course we still got COVID going on. So that's what I would say. Just kind of pump your brakes and see if the tax deadline gets extended. Nobody is really excited about that. I will tell you that right now. So even if the tax deadline does get extended for filing and for paying, you still need to check with your tax professional to see what their deadlines are, because it's you just need to know so that you can plan accordingly. Okay? So thank you guys so much for tuning into Home Biz Tax Talk. I know it's been a minute. Have a great day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.